program in the business school. In our ethics class for accounting, we were asked to evaluate different cases and select a case that we thought interesting. And so what I'm going to bring to you is the case of the intimate conflicts. Basically, you've seen it, now what do you do? The story involves a gentleman by the name of Ralph Johnson, who is the CPA and the head internal auditor for a mid-sized bank. He happened to be out on the outskirts of town, walked into a bar, and he saw the head loan officer for the bank being involved in what it would appear a very intimate relationship with the largest lender, largest borrower of the bank, and also one of the largest developers in the town. So Mr. Johnson decides he wants to make sure that what he's seeing is actually true, and so he decides he's going to go ahead and go out into the parking lot, wait in the parking lot, and see what develops from this relationship. So he goes to his car, hides in kind of a dark area, walks over to the, waits for them to come out of the bar, and decides to see what happens. So 15, 20 minutes later, out comes the chief loan officer or head loan officer, Mrs. Nancy Draper, and the developer. And 30 minutes later, he leaves her car. They fog it up. They spend intimate time together. And so now Johnson knows that there is a relationship. So Johnson has to make some difficult decisions on what to do. Unfortunately, it's not so cut and dry. You know, because the bank has a very strong policy against intimate relationships with borrowers, he has to report this. But there have been rumors that the bank president and the loan officer had intimate relationships also. So he's afraid that if he went to the bank president, it could jeopardize his position, his job. He could go in and do nothing and just say, you know, hey, I was spying, I shouldn't have been doing that, so I'll have to turn a blind eye to it. Probably not a best idea. He could go to the chairman of the board of the bank. Unfortunately, the chairman of the board and the president are very good friends. Again, that might jeopardize his position with the bank when the bank president finds out regarding this. And then the last is to go directly to Nancy Draper, the loan officer, and say, hey, it's an inappropriate relationship. It's against bank policy. You either end your relationship with the developer or you have to leave the bank. So as I evaluated it, I looked at it and thought, you know, I think the best move for Johnson would be to go to both the president and the chairman of the board, explain the situation to them, knowing that it could jeopardize his job, knowing that it could jeopardize his living, the way he provides for his family. But he would show true moral courage by addressing it directly with the president and with the chairman of the board, and then leaving the chips where they may and see what happens. He has an absolute obligation to do that. Interestingly enough, this is actually based on a true story. And Johnson really made the wrong decision. Johnson decided to stay quiet in fear for his own job. Well, come to find out, the developer was using the loan officer to get more money. He was overspending. He was directing money in the wrong places, and ultimately ended up where the loans he was taking out actually went into default with the bank. The loan officer lost her job because of the intimate relationship, and it came about that Johnson knew about the relationship, and Johnson ended up losing his job also, and having to attend many depositions and regarding the situation, and it cost him his career. Had he chosen to show moral courage and be ethical and not so concerned with his own well-being, but the well-being of the bank institution, he may have lost his job, but would have been able to get another job because of what he's shown. And unfortunately, now he's been known as the person who would not step up and stand up to protect the bank. Hope you enjoyed this case as much as I did. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.